shows up at the house with Lavan Besuel. They come out to greet him. Lavan sees the rings on Rivka's fingers. He's like, this guy has money. Let's kill him and take his money. Standard Lavan procedure. And he runs outside to go take care of Eliezer. And the Yalkut Shmoini says, Muradigater. Eliezer said Hashem Hashem. Eliezer was not a Pasha Yid. You have to understand that he just gave up the shidduch with his daughter to set up a shidduch with some other girl, with Yitzchak. Right? That's why we have the Shalshelas. I mean, Eliezer was very torn to be able to push himself to be able to set up this shidduch, which he really wanted. Eliezer was not a Pasha Yid, and he knew Shemus Hashem, apparently. Yalkut Shmoini says that he said Hashem of Hashem, and all of the camels that he had shown up with stacked on top of each other, with Eliezer on top. So Eliezer's floating up top. Eliezer's running towards him, ready to give him a nice love and welcome with a stab in the back. And he sees Eliezer up there floating. He's like, this is a little different than my standard, meet and kill. So he said, we have to run this whole program a little differently. And he welcomes him inside. Please come. Set down your animals. Come and eat. Eat some of my poison soup. He probably didn't tell him it was poison. Eliezer didn't want to eat yet. How did he push him off? He said, first I want to tell you what happened. Let me tell you about the Kvitzas Haderech, about the nace that just happened, how Rivka walked out and did exactly the way I set it up with her Rebbeinu Shalom. What did Lavan tell him? Daber. Daber is a harsh way of speaking. Amor is nice. Lashon Racha. Daber is Lashon Kasha. Lavan yells at him, no, do your speaking, get it over with, so you could finally eat, so I can take all the camels, yes? Obviously Eliezer does his spiel, and in the meantime, the bowls get switched around by the Malach, and the Suol dies. Suol eats the special soup. There are two ways that someone can talk, with two kavanas. Lavan wanted Eliezer to talk. Eliezer also wanted to talk. Why did Lavan want him to talk? Because look, this is what we have to do in order to get to the food. Yeah? Let's get over this hurdle, and then we'll get to the tachlos. Eliezer wanted to talk. So he wanted to talk about Hashem. He wanted to talk about his master, Avram Avinu. About the tremendous work that Avram Avinu was doing for the soon-to-be Klal Yisrael. When we daven, there are two ways that we can daven. We can daven because I have to get to lunch, or I have to be yotze my mitzvah. I have to daven 3 times a day, so let's do it. Or you can daven because you want to talk to Hashem. I mean, the Rebbeinu Shalom, the almighty, all-powerful, omniscient God says, come have a word with me. And you're like, fine. Just to get it over with. Talk because you want to talk to Hashem. The Reb Shimshon Pincus writes in the introduction to Shar Mitzvila that the same way the Torah is the projector of the world, Tefillah is the projector of our neshama. Everything that our soul generates for us, all that connectivity comes about through Tefillah. Nothing in this world happens. Nothing will come to us without Tefillah. We should daven the way that Eliezer wanted to talk. Not the way Lavan wanted to talk, to just get over with it. Just daber so we could get to lunch. It's amazing with the Graz in Tsarist Russia. A chassid came to the Graz and he says, Rebbe, I need chizuk and tefillah. He says, what do you need chizuk and tefillah for? What's going on? He says, I used to have a tremendous davening. And I'll tell you where I got that tefillah from, and I feel like I'm losing it. He says, I was once passing by a regiment of the Tsarist army, and they were flogging one poor soldier. And he was screaming, and I went inside to find out, what's going on? And I asked the guard, who's overseeing the flogging, he said, what did he do? What did he do to deserve this? He said he was on guard, and his ear froze. His ear froze. Middle of a Russian winter. The guy says, that's why you're flogging? This guy froze off his ear for the Tsar? He's getting flogged for that? He says, you don't understand. When you're standing in the army of the Tsar, you are representing Mother Russia. You should be so excited and terrified that your blood should be boiling. If your ear is freezing, you're not scared enough. You're not in awe of your position. This guy said, that's insane. And he took that lesson to heart, and he amped up his Shemona Esrei. He said, Rebbe, recently, it's been a few years since I saw this event, and I feel like my Shemona Esrei isn't like what it used to be. I need chizuk in my tefillah. Can you imagine such a thing? The guy wasn't even standing in front of the Tsar. We're zeicher to stand in front of the Rebbeinu Shalom, mamish. When we do Eis Shalom, we face left first because that's right of the Rebbeinu Shalom. He's standing right in front of us. We whisper because his ear is right in front of our mouth. He's listening intently. Should our blood not be boiling? Should we not have tremendous awe and yira when we're davening in front of the Rebbeinu Shalom? Hashem should be mezaka us with our heart, be able to daven b'chol libeinu. Be'ez Hashem, we should be able to shake up our kishkas a little bit to be able to daven in front of Hashem, to be able to feel that we're really talking to the Melech Malchei HaMelachim. V'tahel libeinu, v'tahel libeinu, v'cho be'emes. V'tahel libeinu, v'tahel libeinu, v'cho be'emes. V'tahel libeinu, v'cho be'emes. V'tahel libeinu. Shabbos.